My dear students, students, today we are going to start our history fourth chapter, that is the Vedic civilization. In this chapter we will learn about the Vedic literature, the family system, their agriculture, their occupations, their religious ideas and political system. So, let's start. First, the Vedic literature. So, here they mention about the four Vedic literatures. There are four Vedas are there. Four types of Vedas. So, let's start. The civilization that is based on Vedic literature is known as Vedic civilization. Underline this sentence. The civilization that is based on Vedic literature is known as Vedic civilization. The Vedas are considered to be our earliest literature. The Vedas are composed by rishis. The Vedas which are composed by sages or rishis. Some Vedic hymns were composed by women also. Some of the Vedas were composed by rishis. Some of the Vedic hymns, Vedas were composed by women. So, this Vedic literature is in a Sanskrit language. In which language? Sanskrit language. Vedic literature is very rich and diverse. It's very rich. The Rig Veda. There are four types of Vedas are there. Rig Veda. So Rig Veda is considered to be the first text. It is in the form of verses. As I told you, there are four Vedas. First one Rig Veda, then Yajur Veda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda. How many Vedas are there? There are four types of Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda. We will learn about one by one. So Vedic texts are known as Samhita. Vid. Vid means to know. Vid means what? To know. To understand, to know. The term Vedas derives from Vid. The term Vedas which is derived, which means Vid, which means knowledge. The Vedas have been preserved through an oral tradition. It was not in a written form, it was a oral tradition. And the Vedas were also called as Shruti. And this, what we learn, that Vedic, the civilization which is based on Vedic literature, that is known as Vedic civilization. The Vedas were composed by rishis as well as women also. This Vedic literature is in a Sanskrit language. There are four types of Vedas are mentioned: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda. The word Ved means to know. So Vedic Veda derives from the word Ved, means knowledge. And these Vedas have been preserved by oral tradition, which is also called as Shruti. So let's start one by one. First one, Rig Veda Samhita. Each verse, each Veda is known as Richa. Each verse of the Veda is known as Richa. So the Veda consisting of Richas is called Rig Veda. Richa means what? Richa means a composed to praise of deity. Praise of deity. When a number of riches, many riches are put together, many riches or a main number of riches put together, composition a praise of a particular deity and a poetic composition that is called sukta. That is called sukta. Many riches put together with a poetic composition that is called sukta. And the Rigveda consists of many suktas which was composed to praise different deities. So Rigveda Samhita means each Veda which was known as Richa, which Richas consisting is called Rigveda. Richa means composed to praise a deity. Many riches put together, number of riches come together to praise a particular deity, to praise a poetic composition which is called sukta. And the Rigveda is consisting many suktas which composed to praise a different deities. Understood, students? Rigveda Samhita. Next is Yajurveda Samhita. So Yajurveda contains mantras. So Yajurveda Samhita is related to mantras uttered during a yajna. Yajurveda Samhita provides the guidance. What kind of guidance? Guidance about how and when the different mantras must be chanted and used during the yajna rites. So Yajurveda Samhita which contains mantras. So Yajurveda provides a guidance, provides the information that how and when these mantras going to be used. This text includes a verses of poetic incantation and their explanation in verse. So Yajurveda Samhita is based on mantras. This Yajurveda Samhita provides guidance about how and when these mantras chanted during the yajna rites. So understood these two Samhita. Rigveda Samhita, that each Veda verse is known as Richa. Many Richas put together to a particular deity or to praise a composition. It's called Sukta. And Yajurveda Samhita is based on mantras. So this Samhita provides information, guidance about how and when these mantras used during the yajna rites. Next, third one is Samaveda Samhita. Samaveda provides guidance. Which kind of guidance Samaveda Samhita provides? Guidance on singing Rigvedic verses to set a rhythm, to set a tune at the time of yajna rites. Samaveda Samhita provides a guidance on singing of Rigvedic verses. What kind of guidance? To set a rhythm, to set a tune at the time of yajna rites. So the Samaveda has contributed in a major way of laying the foundation of Indian music. Samaveda Samhita is related to singing, is related to music. It provides a guidance on singing of Rigvedic composition, Rigvedic verses to set a rhythm, tune during the yajna rites. It contributed the foundation of Indian music. Understood, students? First we learn Rigveda, which means a single Veda, that is called Richa. And Richa means composed to praise a particular deity. Then we learn Yajurveda that based on mantras, which provides information, guidance on how and when these mantras used. Then we learn Samaveda Samhita, that Samaveda provides singing on Rigvedic verses to set a rhythm, to set a tune And this Samhita contributed the foundation of Indian music, based on Indian music. And the last one, fourth one, is Atharva Veda Samhita. Atharva Veda is named. How this Atharva Veda Samhita named? The Atharva Veda Samhita is named after the Atharva Rishi. After the Atharva Rishi. This Veda is different from other three Vedas. This Atharva Veda Samhita is different from rest of the three. What is the difference? So it is more concerned with many things in day-to-day life. This Samhita is related to day-to-day life. Is different from other three. It includes solutions to adversities and diseases. So this Samhita is related to day-to-day life. It includes day-to-day life. In this Samhita, it includes the solution of different diseases. It provides information about the medicinal hub, about medicines. The Atharva Veda Samhita provides a guidance. Which kind of guidance? To a king about the way he should administer his kingdom, about the way how the king handle his kingdom, administer his kingdom. So Atharva Veda Samhita is different from rest of the three Samhitas because this Samhita includes the day-to-day life of the people. It includes solutions, adversities and diseases. It provides information about the medicinal hubs, medicines. It provides the information about the medicines. All of you understood students these four Vedas. First we learn Rig Veda Samhita, which means Veda is known as Richa, and the Richa means a composed of poetic praise to a deity. Then we learn Yajurveda Samhita, which contains mantras and which provides information, guidance on when and how this mantra is going to be used. Then we learn Samaveda Samhita. That Samaveda Samhita is based on singing on the set of rhythm and tune. When this Samhita contributed the foundation of Indian music. And last one, fourth one, we learn that Atharva Veda Samhita. That this Atharva Veda is Samhita named after the Atharva Rishi. And this was the different from rest of the three. What is the difference? Because in this Samhita, it includes the day-to-day life of the people. It includes the solution of adversities and diseases. And it provides the guidance on solutions, informations about the medicinal herbs. This Samhita provides the information about the medicines. Next is Brahmana text. So they were composed to provide guidance on using Vedic mantras in yajna rituals. Each Veda has independent text, that is called Brahmanas. Next is Aranyakas. Aranya means what? The word Aranya is related to forest. So the Aranyakas consist of the reflections or thoughts expressed after meditating deep concentration in forest or wilderness. Means Aranyakas is the consist of reflection or thoughts expressed after meditating deep concentration in forest. And Aranyakas are concerned with accurate performance of yajna rites. Aranyakas consists of what? Reflections, thoughts expressed after meditating deep concentration in forest. and this concerned with accurate performance of yajna rites. Next is Upanishads. Upanishad, it's related to provide knowledge, to indicate it related to knowledge. So the term Upanishad indicates knowledge acquainted by sitting at the feet of the teacher. Means here teacher give knowledge to the students. Whatever knowledge teacher have, that knowledge teacher will give to the students. So Upanishad means, the term Upanishad indicates knowledge acquired by sitting at the feet of the teacher. Means teacher give the knowledge to the student. Human beings have always wondered about the events like life and death. Human beings have always wondered about the events like life and death. So it is not easy to find the answers to them. It is not easy to get the answers. So Upanishads discuss such serious and profound issues. Whatever knowledge I have, I'll give to the students. So that means in Upanishads, it discusses such issues, such serious and profound issues. Understood, students? Aranyakas. So Aranyakas, which is consist of meditating, reflecting, expressing thoughts after meditating, deep concentration in a forest. Whereas Upanishad means indicates knowledge which is acquired by sitting in front of the teacher. So Upanishad means to discuss the various issues, such serious and profound issues. So here what we learn about 4 Vedas, that is Rigveda Samhita, Yajurveda Samhita, Samaveda Samhita and Atharva Veda Samhita. We learn 4 Vedas, then Brahmanas, then we learn about Aranyakas and Upanishads, which these all were composed over a period of 1500 years. During this long period, during this 1500 years, during this period, Vedic civilization underwent many changes. In Vedic literature, Vedic civilization, there was many changes were there. So Vedic literature is an important source. It is very important to study the Vedic literature and their changes and day-to-day life in a Vedic period. Understood, students? Next point is family system and day-to-day life. Now we are going to learn the family system during that Vedic period. So in that period, joint family system was prevalent in a Vedic period. Joint family system. So that time Grihapati was the head of the family. Grihapati was the head of the family. Who was the head of the family? Grihapati. Grihapati means what? Means a man who was responsible for the family. Grihapati was the head of the family, who was a man responsible for the family. Grihapati who was responsible for the family because he was the head of the family. His family included joint family system. In this family, joint family, it included his old parents, wife, children, also the families of children, the younger brothers and their families. This family system was patriarchal, and in the initial period there are references to women scholars such as Lopamudra, Gargi and Maitri in Vedic literature. So however, slowly the restrictions on women went on increasing. The restrictions on women going to be increased. That time the position of family system became secondary. So during Vedic period, joint family system was very prevalent. So in that time, Grihapati, who was the head of the family, who was responsible for the family. In joint family, it includes old parents, wife, children, younger brothers, and their families. This family system was patriarchal. So here they mention the some women scholars such as Lopamudra, Gagi, and Maitri. Slowly, the restrictions on women went on increasing. So that time the position of the family and society became secondary. So understood students, family system. In this we learn 4 to 5 points that family system of during the Vedic period there was a joint family system. In the here, the Grihapati was the head of the family who was responsible for the family. Joint family included old parents, wife, children, younger brothers, and their families. Women scholars such as Lopamudra, Maitri, and Gargi. So when the slowly restrictions of women going to be increased, and the family and the position of family and society became secondary. Understood students? So today we learn about the Vedic literature. Then we learn about 4 Vedas: Rigveda Samhita, Yajurveda Samhita, Samaveda, and then Atharva Veda. Then we learn about Brahmanas. We also learn about Aranyakas and Upanishads. And last we learn about family system. So all of you understood students? Okay.